welcome back to Gather Together Homestead. Today we're going to build a deal to hang our rabbits and dispatch them all in one deal. I want to be able to hang 4 rabbits at a time and dispatch them all at the same time for when it's time to butcher them and process them and everything. So we're going to get that built this morning and kind of show you how we're going to do that and then show you what it looks like when we get done. So we're going to get started. So for me, with our deal, I want to make it about 6 feet long because, like I said, I want to be able to hang 4 rabbits at the same time and also attach the dispatcher to the end of it. So we're going to make ours 6 feet long. It's going to get loud here in a second. We're going to do some cutting, but we kind of set this table up. So we're going to do 2 boards for our deal. One kind of like an L shape so I can screw it to whatever we're going to fasten it to, and then the other one for the cables to kind of hang down through, which I'll show you that here in just a few minutes once we get things going here. It makes it nice to be able to hang your rabbits to butcher them and stuff, and this is going to make it a whole lot easier on us. Last time I did this, I did it with some rope and stuff, which you can kind of see it's still hanging over there on the winch, but it worked, but not as well as I would have liked. So I've seen some other ways of doing it, and we're going to try it this way. So we got our boards now. Move that out of our way. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically take and screw this board to that one. And kind of got all of our stuff laying out over here already, but for us to do this project, or myself to do this project, got a bucket of screws, the drill, sawzall, some cable, and a piece of all thread, and then just a piece of square tubing, which I'll show you what those are all going to be used for here in just a little bit. Get these screws started in there. You know, here on the homestead, instead of buying everything, it's nice if you can make a lot of these things. It saves you a lot of money. So I've got probably all together, you know, the wood, obviously we repurposed the wood. Between what I had to buy with the all thread and the cable and stuff, I think I have less than $30 in it all. And if I had to go and buy something similar to this already set up with the dispatcher, just the dispatcher itself runs about 30 bucks. And that's not including anything to hang them with or anything. So definitely a money saver to be able to build these things on your own. Sorry if that's loud. All right, so there's that part. So what we'll do here is I'm going to end up drilling holes through here, and I can run a piece of cable, 2 pieces of cable, 1 for each foot on the rabbit. And I'm going to do 4 of those down through here, and then I'll be able to mount the dispatcher right here on the end. So once I get that built, we'll be able to show you what it's all going to look like when it's finished. So we're going to try and hopefully be able to cut this cable. So this is just some real thin cable that we got from the hardware store. I think it's going to work great when it gets down to it. If I can get it undone here, we can cut them to length and everything. But I bought 11 feet of it, and this stuff's about 25 cents a foot, so it's really not super expensive. But what we can do with it is we can run it up through that board and have a little slip knot on the end to be able to hang their feet in. So we're going to see if we can't get some of this going. And I'm going to go about 10 inches apart on my holes. So that there will be 2 rabbits. If I got this, I may have to move that down a little bit. Go ahead and drill these holes and now these holes here are about the same size as the cable is going to be. That way when I go to pull down on them, it's not pulling the cable back through the board on me. This ought to fit right up through that hole that we just drilled. And it does. So we'll run that up through there. And we've got these little clamps for the cable. They just slide right over the end of it. You can clamp it on. It shouldn't slide off of there. And that'll keep that cable from slipping back down through the board on us. So let's see if we can get one on there and get it clamped on, and then we can make the loop on the other end. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to put this one on one side, and then we're going to make a loop out of that. And it don't have to be a big loop, because this is just going to be for the slip knot that we plan to make. And we'll take these pair of pliers here and see if we can clamp that down. So that there won't come out. So now what we can do is we can run this end through that, which will give us our slip knot, and that'll be to put their feet in when we hang them up. So now we can run this cable back up through here on our board where we drill our hole, just like that, and then I can put a clamp on the top to keep that from pulling out. Put that one up here. We'll just clamp it in a couple of spots so that cable don't want to slip back through there. So now that holds up there like that. This will go down here, and we'll have another one on this side here too for the other foot, and we'll be able to hang one rabbit right here off of this system. I'm going to continue doing this on down, and then once I get it just about done, I'll show you guys the end product. But I've got them spaced out about 10 inches apart here, and then I got a 5-inch gap in between it. And then I'm going to put another one here, here, and here. So we should have be able to hang 3 or 4 rabbits on this thing. The total length of the board is 6 feet long. So I could have put them a little closer together, but I just wanted to have plenty of room to work around the rabbits and stuff as I'm skinning them. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these cables out, and then we'll check back in here in just a little bit when we get to the dispatching part of it. So So we got all of our cables in here now. We were able to get enough for all 4 rabbits like I wanted. And then right here on this end where we've got the extra space, that's where this piece of tubing comes in, and it's got holes drilled in it already. But we are going to drill it out a little bit bigger to make it fit this piece of all thread. And then what I'm going to do is put this through there, tighten it up on each side, and then I can bend this to make my V, which is going to be what we use to dispatch the rabbits. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this out real quick. And I cut this thing down. I made it to fit that space, but ours is 14 inches long. So I'm going to drill this one hole out real quick so we can go ahead and make that work. So we're going to try and get this all thread in here now. I got that hole drilled out, but I've got it tight, but it might be a little too tight still. There it's going. Yeah, she's going to go now. I just got to get that to go on there. Okay. Now we can tighten that down. It'll pull that piece of all thread on through for me if I keep my tools in my hand. So we're going to put a nut on each side of this, and then we'll be able to bend that all thread to get our V in it once we get it tightened down here. So now what we're going to do is try and bend this and make a sharp V right here on this end, and then we can cut off the excess of the all thread there. So you want that V to be pretty sharp in there, because what's going to happen is you're going to put the rabbit's head up in here, and then when you go to pull down on it, it keeps its head locked in there and wedged, and it basically snaps the neck. So I'll go ahead and get that cut off, and I think that'll work good. So get that cut real quick. And now what we'll do is we'll secure that onto there, and that'll give us our dispatcher. So I'll be able to put the rabbit's feet in here, hang them here while I butcher them. It lets go real easy. We can use the dispatcher here, put the rabbit's head in there, obviously give it a good yank, and it will dispatch the rabbits so that we can hang them and skin them. So this is my setup. This is how it's going to have to work for now. So it'll come down, this will fold up against there, that'll go there. So we can still get the tractor and stuff in and out of here, and the four-wheelers and the Ranger in and out of that side. So that's how we have it. That's not how everybody's going to do it, obviously. They may use a few less boards, a few less blocks, but works for me. It'll make my life easier skinning rabbits. So if you have any questions, comment below.